So very happy to be here talking to Edouard Moueix at Chateau Bel-Air Menage to discuss the current 2023 vintage. We have a few questions for Edouard. The first, would you be kind enough to share your thoughts on the 2023 vintage?
Well, Paul, first of all, I'm very happy to be here with you on this very special moment. Well, the 23 is a vintage that can be defined by the term classic. And I know classic has been overused in so many ways, and it's quite sad, because what I mean by classic, it's the pure expression of each terroir. And if you look at all the properties we're lucky to have, and happy, of course, in Pomerol and in Saint-Émilion, between La Grave, La Tour, and Trotanois, you couldn't have a more precise expression of the place where those fruits have matured. So for me, it's a very interesting vintage, because what people will get in a bottle it will allow them to travel, and even within the appellation, it has not been dominated by the vintage itself.
So it's an expression of terroir and chateau.
It's an expression of terroir and chateau. Of course, within the definition of terroir, man is in the center, and the decision that has been made by men has influenced the style of wine. However, when it's the same team, which is what I can talk about, clearly it's a very interesting tasting trip, in a sense.
Good. The second question, has anything surprised you about this vintage?
Yes.
And that may be?
That is the heat at the end of August, which has, for us at least, saved the vintage. Because overall it was a pretty warm vintage. We had a beautiful bud break with a potential large volume, because after the stress of 22, what we call les mannes, the baby grapes were quite full. We had a perfect flowering, so a lot of berries on each grape. I will not ask you how many but you know, it's quite a lot of berries, around 300 berries per grape average, which is quite a lot. So we have a generous crop, and the overcasted month of July made us worry, because we were not sure the vine then could bring to maturity that number of grapes. And obviously we had to thin crop, to green harvest. But then those beautiful 2 weeks end of August and a beautiful 2 weeks early September with really warm days, very sunny, have accelerated that maturity, which has allowed us to produce those wines with a lot of fruit, yet you still have the freshness of the month of July.
Good. Finally, what actress or actor would you associate with the 2023 vintage?
Well, I've put quite a bit of thought into it, and I couldn't come to a conclusion. So I pulled my, how do you say that, the bonus card or something like that, and I asked my father.
Okay.
And his answer, I think, is the perfect answer. Laurence Olivier is clearly the actor, because it's the wines have class and depth.
An absolutely superb answer. Thank you very much, Edouard.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you
very much.